What's up everybody, Justin here with AmericanTrucks.com with your latest installment of truck news. And in this episode, we are going to be breaking down the latest on the yet to be released 2018 F150. Mainly those changes to the engine lineup, along with a completely new engine for the next generation truck. But first guys, if you want to stay up to date on the latest F150 news, some product overviews, a few cool builds along with the occasional giveaway, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. But first, let's start with the latest we are hearing in regards to this more powerful 2018 engine lineup. And what do you say we start with the newest addition to the family, and that is this new 3.3 liter naturally aspirated dual injection V6 that will be replacing the tried and true 3.5 liter as your base option with the 2018 F150. Now this new 3.3 liter makes 290 horsepower and 265 pound-feet of torque, which is up 8 horsepower and 12 pound-feet of torque respectively over that outgoing base 3.5 engine. Now it's able to accomplish this despite less displacement thanks to this crazy high 12-to-1 compression ratio, which is made possible thanks to the new dual style fuel injection, which does combine that old school port injection with the modern direct injection. Now that dual injection has made its way over to other F150 engines, including the small but mighty 2.7 liter EcoBoost power plant, which by the way will be back for 2018, this time sporting 25 more pound-feet of torque, while horsepower figures do remain the same, bringing your total output up to 325 horsepower and 400 pound-feet of torque respectively. Now, non-EcoBoost fans will be happy to know that the great sounding 5-liter Coyote truck will also be getting a small bump in power and torque, thanks again to the dual injection system, along with a little bit more compression, bringing your grand total up to 395 horsepower and 400 pound-feet of torque at the crank, along with some tech used from the Shelby GT350. Now Ford decided to ditch those heavy cast iron cylinder sleeves and replace them with this plasma arc bore liners that originally were used on the GT500 for the S197, and they were carried over to the GT350. And finally guys, your premium power plant, the 3.5 EcoBoost, does remain unchanged for 2018 as it underwent a minor overhaul for the 2017 model year. But as a friendly reminder for you guys, that engine does crank out 375 horsepower and 470 pound-feet of torque respectively, and is still the king of towing for the F150 family, until that is we get some confirmed numbers on this yet to be released 3-liter turbo diesel. But if I were a betting man, I would say this little diesel will not surpass the 3.5 EcoBoost for towing supremacy, just based off of these 3-liter numbers from Land Rover, who by the way does get most of its diesel engines from Ford. So ultimately time will tell guys. We should be getting more info on this diesel F150 very soon, and as we do we will bring it to you. Now behind most of those engines, owners can look forward to the new 10-speed automatic trans, which did make its debut in 2017, but now will be standard equipment on all 2018 F150s, with the exception of that base 3.3 liter, which will be receiving the 6R80 trans, which has been around for almost a decade now. And as someone who owns a 10-speed F150, I will say it is a noticeable change going from the 6 to 10-speed trans, and my early fear that the truck is always kind of looking for the right gear was not as bad as I originally thought it was going to be. But nevertheless, Ford does hope to squeeze a few more miles per gallon out of these new trucks with that new 10-speed in place. But moving on to some smaller details here at the new 2018 F150, they will include the auto start, auto stop feature on all engines for all trucks, which is something I am personally not a big fan of, and it's something I usually disable the moment I turn my truck on. Now, one thing that did pique my interest, however, with the 2018 is this new B&O Play feature, which will be introduced on certain models or certain trim levels. Now, for those of you who aren't aware, B&O in this case stands for Bang & Olufsen, and they do produce some pretty high-end stereo equipment and will be replacing the rather mediocre Sony system in the current truck. Now, no word yet on how this thing will actually sound, but some people have summed it up on the forums by stating it couldn't possibly sound any worse than the Sony. Ouch. But finally, moving on to some new products before we get out of here, and this time around, I'm pumped to be talking about some of the new stuff rolling out from the crew over at Barricade. More specifically, their new HD steel rocker steps and steel running boards, which I recently installed on a pretty badass 6.2 Raptor build. You guys can check that out here on the site very soon. For those who don't know, Barricade does make some pretty gnarly stuff, a wide variety of truck accessories, all of which are pretty affordable, and again, you can find those here on the site. Check them out if you haven't already done so. But hey, we're talking about this stuff, guys. What do you say we give a set away? So all you have to do to get involved is simply subscribe to our YouTube channel and comment below. Talk about the 2018 F-150, talk about the engine lineup, talk about me shopping in the little boys department with my little ass shirt. I don't care, it's up to you guys, but again, you have to get involved in the discussion if you want to win this contest. I'm out of here, thanks for watching, and for all things F-150, keep it right here at AmericanTrucks.com.